What if the thing keeping you stuck in midlife isn't fear? It might not even be lack of clarity or even the wrong circumstances. What if the thing that is keeping you stuck in midlife is something that you believe that is simply not true? Because after working with many women who have successfully transitioned through midlife and having navigated that midlife reinvention phase myself, I'm here to tell you that those myths and those beliefs that we somewhere pick for ourselves along the way may not even be true. And they might sound really real, they might sound very convincing and reasonable, even, but that is what makes them dangerous. And on this episode, I'd like to tell you about 5 myths that we can debunk right now so that the story that you tell yourself is based on information and clarity and confidence. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Maria Martinez, and this is the Inner Authority Project. And here we talk about all things reinvention, identity, and things that matter to all of us women after 50. So yes, during this process and this doing the work myself, I have realized that there are 5 important myths that we can debunk right now because these are the very things that keep us stuck. Do you want to learn about these 5 myths with me? Let's dive in. Myth number 1, it says that it's too late to start over. Too late to start over. I felt myself feeling those feelings when I was first transitioning from 50 into my 50 plus era. And the truth is, that's a huge lie. We really typically pick that belief along the lines of what society has scripted for us. We must be married or achieve certain level within our jobs by certain age. We have to do certain things. And after 50 is where research shows us that there's more clarity, more purpose, more conviction. Because guess what? We bring decades of experience and purpose, and that is not a disadvantage. That's our edge. So the first myth is never. It's never too late to start over. Myth number 2, I need to have everything figured out before I get started. And friends, I can tell you that this particular myth might be the most responsible for women that I have met and they felt stuck. And this is why. The truth is that we don't have to have everything figured out. In fact, clarity comes from movement. Clarity comes from taking action. So the very feeling of needing to have everything mapped out or planned out or figured out probably keeps us stuck even longer because guess what? We might never have it all figured out. We might never know all the details because we are basically reinventing ourselves. So it is okay to feel like we don't have it all mapped out and figured out and still take action. Like one of my favorite books from Dr. Susan Jeffers says, feel the fear and do it anyway. So here we're taking one step and we're doing it anyway because that's a myth and we can take action and that can be our new reality. Myth number 3, starting over means we're throwing everything away. Now, let's face it, that one can keep us women frozen indefinitely. Why? Because the reality is that that sounds very dramatic and maybe even risky. Throw everything away, right? What? That's not true at all. Most of the time, what we're doing is refining. We're not throwing everything away. We're refining. We're looking internally and then externally to ensure that we're keeping the things and the people and the circumstances that work with this phase of our life and letting go with grace and gratitude of the things that no longer serve us. So I often look at it as it's not demolition, it's renovation. Maybe because I like houses and interior design, I like to look at it that way. It's not demolition, it is a renovation. So that was myth number 3. Myth number 4 says if we meant to be changed, it will be easier. It will feel easier. That's myth disguised in wisdom, right? The reality is that there's pain and discomfort that comes with every phase of life. As they say, and I have always thought to myself, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? If it was easy, everybody would go through it without any type of difficulty. But no, let's face it, we go through phases of life and we experience the challenges and the change that comes with every phase. This is no different. In fact, the women that successfully navigate through this transformation and reinvention period are women that do it even though there's uncertainty. There might be some level of fear. There might be some level of discomfort. And I invite you to look at that discomfort as a doorway, not as a stopping point, but as a doorway to get to what comes next. And myth number 5 is wanting more must mean that I'm ungrateful. And the truth is that nothing could be further from what we really feel or think about everything that we might be embracing or letting go during this transition. And that myth is one of the most dangerous ones because it carries shame with it. It makes us feel as if we're doing something wrong. And I can tell you that being grateful has nothing to do with wanting more. We're perfectly okay to want more or different during this new phase of life, these eras of 50s and 60s. We've done a lot of great things and we have achieved a lot. And for that, I would want to think we're all grateful, right? But this phase is about being grateful and yet also about what we want and need to be happy and fulfilled and successful. So I would like to think about these myths as things that can be debunked. And I hope that after hearing them, you can walk away knowing different. But I'd love to hear from you. Are any of those 5 myths that you have debunked today, any of them that you are struggling with the most? I'd love to hear from you. Please write a comment or a note in the comment section because I look at them and I want to know who I'm working with during this transformation. Now, as we close, I want to remind you that myths are powerful because they sound true. They're borrowed from culture, from conditioning, from voices of people that we love and respect and even admire. But those myths do not have to shape the next phase of our life. They don't have to inform or dictate what we do next. We get to do that. We get to do that with clarity and conviction and confidence. And that's goodbye for now, but I look forward to seeing you at the next episode of the Inner Authority Project. This is Dr. Maria Martinez saying goodbye for now. Take care.